who's been with us for NA. You're welcome, sir. Thank you. Of course, I'll want to especially thank the president of the NUP who personally came out here today. Of course, the father of pension in Nigeria, father of the struggle, Dr. Thank you very much, sir. Also with us here this morning, we have, quickly, I'll say, we have the Chief Commissioner from the Public Complaints Commission. We have Honorable Chile Igbawa is with us here. Please put your hands together. Thank you. We also want to specially recognize and appreciate the CEO and National Coordinator of Servicom. We have Madam Nenna with us here today. Please put your hands together for her. Thank you. The Chair of the Military Pensions Board, Major General A.B. Adamu, has been specially recognized and represented here today by Air Commodore M.L. Sini. You're welcome, sir. Let me also welcome the representative of the chairman of the ICPC. We have Bala U. Muhammad here with us here today. You're welcome, sir. There's also a director there. But of all this, I think I've been told that the most important of our group today are the pensioners. So can we clap for ourselves for this wonderful opportunity? And lastly, I want to especially recognize the woman who needs no introduction, but who has worked hard with all our pensioners. That's talking about the one behind the struggle, the success, the work, and the smiles on the face of pensioners right now in Nigeria, the Executive Secretary of the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, Madam Sharon Ikeazo. Please put your hands together for her. Well, we're all welcome. We hope the others will join us before long, and we can make progress. But we'll take, as a simple procedure, we'll just be on our feet to officially take the national anthem, and immediately after that, we'll just take stanza 2 as the opening prayer is actually a national prayer. And after that, we'll begin. So if you're not too strong, you are free to sit. But if you still feel the strength in your bones, please, let's be on our feet as we honor Nigeria by taking the national anthem. Our sound engineers will help us. We can sing along. It's on page 1 of your program. Just before we sit, the second stanza is our opening prayer. It's on page 1 of your program. For those who have left school a long time ago, you can just take it. We will read it. Actually, we're not singing it. We'll do that after 2. 1, 2, go. Amen. Thank you. Please, you may take your seats. The representative of the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Finance, the representative of the Director General of the Pensions, National Pension Commission, the Executive Secretary of Ptad, directors and heads of departments, heads of various government agencies represented here, the national president of the pensioners, and members of other unions represented here, our distinguished pensioners, friends of Ptad, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are gathered, as we have done in other zones in the country, to listen to pensioners and to remind them of their very important role, and to remind them also that they are first in our schedule. Our job primarily is to provide exceptional, transparent, and technology-driven pension service through a competent and dedicated workforce, and that we have done. But to properly give us perspective as to history and to where we are headed, is the woman who sits at the helm of affairs, but who works as hard as the least person in this organization. She'll be delivering for us the opening remarks. Let's welcome the Executive Secretary of the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, Madam Sharon Ikeazo, as she delivers her opening remarks. Please put your hands together for her.
Great Nigerian pensioners, good morning. I want to especially welcome the President of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners, Bami Pa Abel Afolayan. And my brother, Eko Modosini, from the Military Pension Board. Thank you for your presence. My regulator, PENCOM, is represented here. You are welcome. Then my mother ministry, the Ministry of Finance. The minister is represented by the Director of Legal. You are welcome. And most importantly, our pensioners. I welcome you all from all over the North Central. As always, I'm glad when we have our stakeholders forum, because this gives us the opportunity to interact with you beyond just sending letters and mails to Ptad. And the primary purpose of these meetings is to brief you on our activities, our plans for the year 2019, and update you on relevant issues that concern our pensioners. So I'll give you a brief overview of 2018, which was a very busy year for Ptad, but I must say was a successful one as well. Pension payments have always been regular and up to date. We also concluded the civil service pensions verification exercise, and we commenced parastatal's pension verification with the defunct agencies. We commenced with them because they have never been on payroll ever since they were privatized, but majority of our parastatal's pensioners are on the payrolls that we inherited. Significant amongst these privatized agencies was the Delta Steel Company of Nigeria and Nitel Pensions. And we thank the federal government very much for remembering these category of pensioners. As we said in our national anthem, the labors of our heroes past shall never be in vain. Nigeria is living up to those words of their national anthem by remembering those who have worked for what Nigeria is today. We have also brought our services closer to our pensioners by opening an office in Damaturu, Yobe State. This was last year, because we cannot forget what is going on in the Northeast and what our pensioners in the Northeast have suffered due to the insurgency, which is now being slowly defeated. We also opened an office in Yola, Adamawa State, in February of 2019. And we are also upgrading a few of our offices, like the Lagos office, for it to be a regional office whereby our pensioners don't have to come to the headquarters to be verified, but can go to the Lagos office and be verified. And that has commenced. Because after our field verifications, a lot of our pensioners who cannot come to the field verifications may now go into the Lagos office and be verified by getting their biometrics captured. And also one of our good successes last year is that incidents of pension fraud are on the decline. And we continue to create awareness and partner with ICPC and EFCC to arrest and prosecute these fraudsters. Also, towards staff motivation and advancement, Ptad held its first promotion exams of staff from grade level 5 to 14. Out of the 87 staff that sat for the promotion exams, 82 passed and were promoted. And this, we feel, will motivate staff better. Also, monthly pension payments, like I said, has been very regular. But it's also good if I reel out the figures of what government pays yearly and monthly for each pension department. We have 4 pension departments. CIPID, the Customs, Immigration, and Prison Service. For 2018, Ptad paid a total of 6.8 billion for monthly pensions. For Parastatal's pension department, for the year 2018, we paid 45 billion for the year. Civil service pensions, we paid 21.2 billion naira for 2018. For police pension department, federal government paid 6.1 billion. This is for the year 2018. Also, under the civil service pension department, over 30,770 pensioners who had not been on the payroll, we had their benefits computed and we put them back on the payroll with the payment of all their arrears. Then also, as at March of 2019, an additional 1,655 have also been computed and put back on the payroll. Then under Parastatal's pension department, an additional 14,678 pensioners were put on the payroll. These are the pensioners I referred to that we had verified, the privatized agency, NITEL, MTEL, Savannah Sugar as well. We have verified and put back on the payroll for payment. Then on the issue of 33% arrears, which is the most relevant point that I'm sure all pensioners are eager to hear about. Are there any civil service pensioners here? Thank you. As at Monday of this week, the federal government through Ptad has paid the sum of 2.6 billion to 103,000 civil service pensioners who are on Ptad's payroll. They are 33% arrears. This is an inherited liability from the last salary increase of 2010. But this government is clearing all inherited arrears. And I would like to reassure the majority of Parastatal's pensioners who have not received their 33% arrears. We have just paid that for Nigerian Railways. The rest of the Parastatal's pension 33% arrears will be paid after the Parastatal's pension verification exercise, which we are commencing at the end of April. This is to enable Ptad ascertain its true liability. But you are aware that under the Parastatal's pension department, Ptad is owing between 12 and 24 months of the 33% arrears liability. But for CPID, police pension, and civil service pensions, we have a zero balance, meaning that government has cleared all of the 33% arrears. Then another critical issue is the payment of our NOKs. For this first quarter, civil service pensions has paid 337 next of kin, over 277 million naira. For parastatals pensions, NITEL next of kins, we have paid 649 of them, over 613 million naira. Then under the health and education sector, under the parastatals pension department, a total number of 1,019 of them have been paid 1.9 billion. For Delta Steel, only 19 NOKs have been paid. And I would also like to reiterate again, for NOK payments, please, the only acceptable documentation is the letter of administration from a state high court or a federal high court. The NOK can come in at any time into Ptad and process their death benefits for their deceased pensioner. Okay, I've mentioned the PAPD verification. There will be a presentation on that so that every pensioner will realize that they do not need to travel from their state of residence to the last place where they worked. You can be verified anywhere you are in Nigeria. And I will also want to please ask the union members here and pensioners present, please forward to us the list of your pensioners who are aged or ill so that they do not need to stress themselves coming to our verification centers. We will take the mobile verification out to them, to their homes and to the hospitals. Also, another update is the legacy fund recoveries. You are aware that Ptad started a drive to recover pension funds that were with insurance underwriters. I'd like to let you know that we are now at the enforcement stage. The directorate is in court with a number of defaulters, and we have received judgment in favor of Ptad in 2 cases. We're working closely with regulatory agencies for the underwriters to comply. I know we have gotten letters from some pension boards claiming that Nikon Insurance has transferred pension funds to us. I'd like to make it clear, Nikon Insurance transferred 13 billion naira worth of properties in lieu of payment. These properties have been sent to the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing for valuation. They have not been sold, so it is not cash that Nikon Insurance sent to Ptad. It is property in lieu of cash. Then on death notification, it's another issue we'll need to talk about. So I'd like also want to thank our partner banks who have regularly written to us to notify us of deceased pensioners in their books. Until we'll implement the I'm Alive biometric thing, we will continue to rely on the banks. But the pension unions and families of deceased pensioners should please advise and notify Ptad immediately in the event of the death of a Ptad pensioner so that the pensions will stop running. There is no way for Ptad to verify that. It's only from information we receive from you. Then on check of dues, Ptad has continued to ensure the prompt deduction of 1% check of dues in favor of Nigerian Union of Pensioners. The remittance of dues is done only to associations and unions that are registered under the Trade Union Act, laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, as amended, and are also duly recognized by the Nigerian Labour Congress. And as such, only the NUP is recognized for payment of check of dues under the third schedule of the Trade Union Act. But I would also like to point out here that there is no clause or any law under the Pension Reform Act that mandates Ptad to deduct 1% check of dues from the pensioners' payments. This is what we inherited from the Office of the Head of Service when Ptad took over the pension payments. And I'm glad our regulator, PENCOM, is here. This is an issue I would like PENCOM to give some clarification on, because we have a lot of unions who are coming individually to Ptad for check of dues. But the umbrella body Ptad has been dealing with is the Nigerian Union of Pensioners. But that doesn't mean we do not recognize other unions like the universities, the polytechnics, the health sectors. We engage with them regularly and have meetings with them. But on the issue of the check of dues, kindly go through the NUP. Then on the issue of harmonization and downsizing, these are two issues of concern to pensioners, which require further clarifications. So this issue is going to be discussed further through a presentation by the Senior Technical Advisor in Ptad, who is a retired Federal Permanent Secretary, Mr. Swago. He will give you a brief presentation clarifying the issue of harmonization and downsizing. And also Ptad has started carrying out a pensioner satisfaction survey. This survey is to gauge the pulse of our pensioners, measure their satisfaction with Ptad service delivery, and obtain necessary feedback towards improving on our service commitments. So pensioners are encouraged to be very, very factual in their response. And when they call you, they would mention their name so you know who is calling you. Because I know a lot of our pensioners have been getting fraudulent calls. These phone calls on the pensioner satisfaction survey is actually from Ptad. So please let others know. Then also the preliminary feedback we got from this survey shows that a number of our pensioners are concerned about the timeliness and increment in their monthly pensions. Increment in monthly pensions, you're aware of the increment in monthly income that is coming up. That, of course, will affect pensions. So it's something pensioners can look forward to that this government is doing. That is why we're working hard to clear the arrears from the last increment, so that we go into the next increment on a clean slate. Also, we would like to apologize here for the inconvenience you may have experienced due to late payment, and assure you that Ptad is working closely with all relevant government agencies towards improved turnaround on monthly pension payments. With the account, Cash Management Office, Accountant General Office, these funds have to be released to Ptad for Ptad to be able to pay you your pensions. But we are engaging with them, and we have a close working relationship with the relevant agencies in the payment cycle to make sure we pay as and when due. Only once in a while we go into the 3rd or 4th of the next month. But I must say this government has been paying regular pension payments promptly. Then our future plans for 2019 to 2021 is to strengthen Ptad's institutional framework using technology and a dedicated workforce. We have started with training of our staff and deploying IT in everything we have done. We're also ensuring prudent and efficient financial resource management. And also we need to achieve and sustain our optimal pensioner satisfaction, have our stakeholder buy-in to address our obligations to all our pensioners. This has been a recurring challenge, but we have been prudently managing what we get. And as we're making recoveries from the insurance companies, we're applying these recoveries to the payment of the pension liabilities that we inherited. We're also very fortunate to have an administration that identifies with our vision to provide innovative and sustainable pension service to our pensioners. It's on this assurance that we have developed our strategic plans for the next coming years, for the next 4 years. Before I end, I would also like to reiterate that Ptad has a zero tolerance for corruption. No staff of Ptad will ever ask for gratification. Ptad does not sell our verification forms or complaint forms. We don't ask for processing fees or gratification to process your complaints or your payments. Please, please, please do not fall prey to fraudsters. We've had a few in-house, in fact, a federal auditor in-house that we had to hand over to the EFCC. He is being prosecuted right now. Any such case of a fraudulent call that you suspect, please report the occurrence immediately to Ptad. We have an anti-corruption transparency unit in Ptad that handles these cases. We're here to open dialogue, share ideas, and discuss ways of improving the lives of our pensioners under the defined benefit scheme. Thank you all once again for honoring our invitation. And before I go, I would like to specially thank a man, one of our pensioners who is here, one of our federal civil service pensioners. During one of our verifications, the son of a deceased pensioner actually came forward to be verified. The father had died years ago. The son had been using his ATM card to withdraw money from his account, and this was in Ogun. Mr. Kasali, please stand up for special recognition. He was the one that actually pointed him out. Thank you, Mr. Kasali. The young man had talked to the children of your deceased colleagues to please notify Ptad on the death of their loved ones so that we can process their pension benefits and take them.
I think we can clap properly for that. It's very detailed, it took us through, and even in the warning, it's not passed as a threat, it's passed as a simple advice. How many of us voted during the last election? Did we all vote? Did you vote? Good. You know, I also was an election observer, and I helped one man who was a very senior citizen. He was a pensioner. At the polling booth, they were trying to explain to him the details of a complicated ballot paper, how he could understand. But it was too difficult, so I stepped in. I said, "Sir, who do you want to vote for?" He just looked at me. He seemed to trust me. He now said, "Madam Sharon." I said, "Oga, she's not contesting for anything." Please put your hands together for her. She has worked so hard, so efficiently that most pensioners actually think she should contest something. You agree? All right, well, what she's doing for Nigeria is enough service already. And let's support her to achieve all of that. Please put your hands together some more for her. But I also want to tell you she's working with a wonderful team. She has an acting director in charge of Civil Service Pension Department, wonderful Agugu. We also want to specially thank our senior technical advisor to the ES, Mr. Sonny Oswagu, who's also a former Permanent Secretary. Please put your hands together for him. Thank you. As we go on, while she was making that speech, two people who walked in quickly, I'll just recognize Honorable Barrister Chule Ibawa, who is the Honorable Chief Commissioner of the Public Complaints Commission. Please, can we welcome him with a round of applause? And he also came in with the FCT Commissioner at the Public Complaints Commission, Honorable Yahaya Garba. You're welcome, sir. Thank you. He's actually our landlord here in Abuja. Thank you, sir, for helping us. So very quickly, we'll take the next presentation. And this one, of course, is from the representative of the Honorable Minister of Finance, Madam Zainab Ahmed, who is represented here today by the Director Legal in the Federal Ministry of Finance, Mr. Gabriel Christopher. Please put your hands together for him as he comes up. Thank you very much, sir. Can we clap for him, please? He has worked hard also to attain this position. I think it's not easy to be at that point. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, all of us. I want to stand on the existing protocol already established by the ES. The Honorable Minister of Finance would have loved to be here, but as we all know, she is away to Washington attending the Bretton Woods Institutions meeting, which has commenced in earnest and will end on the 15th of this month. She has therefore requested me to present this speech on her behalf. Thank you very much. The speech goes this way. I am delighted to be invited to present a keynote address at this special interactive engagement forum organized by the Pension Transitional Arrangements Directorate for all its defined benefit scheme pensioners and stakeholders across the North Central region. In recognition of the selfless services rendered by pensioners while in service, Ptad has thought it fit to bring all stakeholders together under this forum and sensitize them on the Directorate's ongoing initiatives, challenges, as well as reveal plans for the future of pensioners. In this regard, all deliberations today are designed to be centered around the theme, putting pensioners first. To ensure a robust and fruitful interaction, the pensions regulator, the National Pensions Commission, executives and chairmen of unions who cater for pensioners from the Federal Civil Service, Police, Nigeria Customs, the Nigeria Immigration Service, the Nigeria Prison Service, Treasury-funded parastatals, and many pensioners have been invited. Established by Section 42(1) of the Pension Reform Act 2014, Ptad took over the management of the Civil Service Pension Department, Police Pension Office, Immigration and Prison Pension Offices, previously running the old pension scheme. Ptad has also taken over the pension liabilities of most enterprises that were privatized or liquidated by the BPE. It has also continued to address the numerous pensioners' complaints that border on issues such as non-payment of monthly pensions, short payment of pensions and gratuities, removal of names on pension payment vouchers or non-payment of harmonized pension arrears, irregular payment of federal pensioners, and non-receipt of pension after retirement. It is gratifying to note that the payment of the arrears of 33% pension increment is ongoing, and this is in fulfillment of Mr. President's commitment to pensioners' welfare. Today, Ptad is commended as a model organization for the delivery of innovative and sustainable pension services, providing exceptional, transparent, and technology-driven services through a competent and dedicated workforce. Ptad must be commended in this regard. With relevant stakeholders in attendance at this interactive forum, it is my hope that both Ptad and the pensioners will be afforded the opportunity to discuss their challenges. At the end of this forum, pensioners will be better informed of the achievements and future plans of Ptad for them. As a result of this, I have no doubt in my mind that the seemingly mounting tension or agitations for pensioners under the old scheme will be doused. Ladies and gentlemen, while wishing you all a successful outcome, I am confident that this special interactive session involving stakeholders will lead to the emergence of ideas culminating in better management of the affairs of pensioners by Ptad. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much, sir. Please give him a round of applause. Well, we still have one more speech, and before then, I just want to also appreciate two of our directors. We have Fumilaya Onofowokan, who is the Director of Pension Support Service Department, and Mr. Babaganaka Igama, who is the Director in charge of Corporate Services Department at Ptad. Can we put our hands together for them, please? Thank you very much. We appreciate you. We'll quickly go on to the next. This is, of course, a goodwill message by the Acting Director General of the National Pensions Commission, Aisha Dahir Umar, who's represented here today by Mr. Michael Ejiofo, who's in charge of the Complaints and Enforcement Department of the National Pensions Commission. Thank you very much. Please put your hands together for him. He's always been with us in this journey. He's gone with us to every part of Nigeria. We appreciate him for his support. Please, another round of applause.
Good morning, all. My name is Mr. Michael Ejiofo, Ene, and I'm standing on an already established protocol. I'm here to represent the Acting Director General of National Pension Commission, Mrs. Aisha Dahir Umar, who is always passionate about the things and affairs of the Ptad, but unfortunately will not be here, and on whose authority I am presenting this keynote address. The keynote address by Mrs. Aisha Dahir Umar, the Acting Director General, National Pension Commission, at the interactive forum for all defined benefit pensioners and stakeholders in the North Central Zone, with the theme, Putting Pensioners First, organized by Ptad. Distinguished pensioners, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor for me to deliver a keynote address on behalf of the National Pension Commission at this interactive session for all defined benefits DPS pensioners and stakeholders in the North Central Geopolitical Zone, with the theme, Putting Pensioners First. The Directorate has held a series of such interactive fora, which has not only become a successful platform for the Directorate to directly interact with the pensioners, but has also accentuated the importance attached to the welfare and service of the pensioners. The Commission is particularly impressed with the progress and success achieved so far by the Directorate on this line. The Commission is not unaware of the challenges faced by the Directorate, especially in the area of limited funding, for the completion of its verification exercise, especially by the Parastatal Pensions Department, and the actualization of the I'm Alive project. The Directorate, even in the face of this challenge, has commenced the verification for ex-staff of federal government defunct agencies, who are hitherto not on any pension payroll. The ex-staff of agencies such as New Nigerian Newspapers, Delta Steel and Company, Reinsurance Corporation, Nikon Insurance, Federal Housing Authority, Academy, and Nigerian Telecommunication Limited, NITEL, and more recently, Savannah Sugars Limited, have all been verified. Consequently, I'm aware that qualified ex-staff of FHA, NITEL, Delta Steel, Nigerian Insurance, and other defunct agencies are now pensioners currently being paid monthly by Ptad. We must at this point commend the resolute and committed efforts of the federal government in providing funds for this project, in spite of the tight fiscal terrain of the economy. Distinguished participants, I will not conclude this address without commending the doggedness and the passionate commitment of the Executive Secretary, Sharon Ikazo. Also commended are the entire staff of Ptad, and most importantly, you the stakeholders, and our most senior citizens, our pensioners. You are all commended and appreciated. I wish you a very fruitful deliberation. Thank you all, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. And I think we can clap a little more for him. I've been told that clapping is also exercise when you get a little older. So it's also good for us here. I'll be inviting the chair of the Military Pensions Board, Major General A.B. Adamu, who's represented here today by Air Commodore M.L. Sini. Please put your hands together for him as he comes over to deliver a goodwill message. One of the very, very organized pension setups in Nigeria took people away from the streets when it was traditional for people to wait under bridges for their pensions. Please put your hands together for them.
The Executive Secretary, Ptad, I wish to rest my on the existing protocol. I am Air Commodore Sini. I am the Director of NAF Pensions within the MPB. And I am representing my chairman, as rightly observed from the beginning. I would have, he would have been here to come and represent, to come and be at this occasion, but unfortunately he is engaged at Nigerian Army headquarters. Well, for us at the Military Pension Board, we have been all in the business. We are all aware about the changes that are ongoing at the Military Pension Board. We have had a lot of challenges, surely, but within the past few years, we've been able to surmount them. We have been able to at least attend to crucial issues like the 33%, which I am aware some organizations are still paying. We have finished paying our own right in, at the end of 2017 in December. And also maybe to tell you that we are always ready. Whatever it is that